This story is getting a lot of buzz, and I think you guys need to know also when we're talking about influencers, who's working for who and what is the agenda that they're trying to accomplish. It was just reported that Israel has been paying $7,000 per post to undisclosed U.S. influencers amid the Gaza backlash. Now, they're not undisclosed anymore. We're going to show you who some of those influencers are, but the Israeli government is paying U.S. content producers up to $7,000 per post as part of a major increase in budget for global influence campaigns. So listen to this. Just a reminder, Benjamin Netanyahu revealed this in this meeting with these influencers a couple of days ago.
We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him.
So here we go. We have a prime minister from another country trying to flood social media sites. X. They bought TikTok. Larry Ellison, billionaire, bought TikTok. I already went on TikTok the other day, and I'm seeing a lot. All I see is pro-Israel content on TikTok. Facebook, as if this changes anything. That's the hilarious part. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. People have already seen what they have saw. People's minds are not going to be changed because you flood social media. 2 years of a genocide. But the fact that Israel is paying American influencers to post on their behalf, those influencers, those content creators should have to register with FARA. And this is something that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been speaking out about. I agree with her on this. I don't agree with her on other stuff, but I agree with her on this issue. They should have to register with FARA. You are operating on behalf of another country. In this country, you are really working for them. You should have to register. Just imagine if they were being paid by Xi Jinping in China. Could you imagine the outrage? But because it's Israel, it's okay. Now, as we go farther into the story, you're going to see this. Former Trump campaign manager registers as foreign agent for Israel. So peep this guy. There he is there. His name is Brad Parscale. This month, he registered as a foreign agent for Israel as part of a new $6 million deal to create pro-Israel content targeting young Americans. $6 million deal. We have Americans selling out for another country, all for money. And if that's what you're willing to know, you're not America first. Don't buy into this rhetoric that comes from people when they say, well, if pro-Israel is America first. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not when we're giving them $3.8 billion every year. Not when people in Israel have health care, universal health care, and their universities are free, and we don't even have those basics here in this country. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know why people are falling for that one. Parscale signed a foreign agent's registration form this month, informing the DOJ that he and his business Clock Tower X LLC were now representing Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs to develop and execute a nationwide campaign in the U.S. to combat anti-Semitism. How is this even allowed? So he's an agent for another country. In another registration form, Parscale also disclosed his partnership with Germany's Havas Media Network as part of the arrangement. And he got Germany in there too. When asked whether or not the agency was supervised by a foreign government, foreign political party, or other foreign principal, Parscale ticked the box yes, explaining that the agency was being supervised by the state of Israel. This should not be allowed. If you are into Chat GPT, you also need to pay attention to this as well. Check this out. According to the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, Israel has enlisted Parscale to create content tailored to Gen Z audiences across platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, and other relevant digital and broadcast outlets, with a goal of reaching at least 50 million hits per month. Parscale will also reportedly work to influence AI models such as Chat GPT. So for those of you who use Chat GPT, keep that in mind. Some of the questions that you may ask Chat GPT if in regards to Israel, the answers are probably going to be pro-Israel. Surprised. This is where we're at now. This is how far they are going. And it goes deeper. Shout out to Eli. Leaked emails reveal communications between the company leading the TikTok purchase and the former Israeli Prime Minister, Barak. We believe that we have to embed the love and respect for Israel in the American culture. That was written at that time by CEO of Oracle, Safra Katz. You see this? TikTok investor embed the love and respect for Israel in the US. It was a 2015 email. Now that's important, right? Because she was the Oracle CEO. You guys know that Larry Ellison, as we mentioned, billionaire, owns Oracle. We have to fight the battle before the kids get to college. She might get her wish now. What did I tell you about how they try to get them young? They try to get people when they're young and brainwash them then so that they won't even question it. So this is on a whole other level because they lost the information war. And so because they lost the information war, now they're trying to find a way to get that back. They also lost the social media war too. So they're trying to get that back. The problem is, like I said, people cannot unsee what they saw. And for those of us who saw what we saw, some of us also have children. What do you think we're going to tell our children? We tell them the truth. Now they're willing to pay people $7,000 a post. What does that tell you? Let's see how much they've been spending all together here. Gen X Girl did a deep dive into this. FAR registration shows Israel paid $900,000 for US influencers from July through December 2025. The year isn't up yet. $900,000. But they get money from us. Because see, here's the thing. If you guys want to look into the economics of it all, if they have $900,000 to pay American influencers, why is America giving them $3.8 billion a year? And some say, oh, well, that's just weapons. We shouldn't be giving them anything. If they have $900,000 to pay influencers, why are we giving them money and weapons? This is a list of identified pro-Israel influencers who attended the Israel influencer events between August and September. Israel 365 trip to Israel, Bill Ackman's Hamptons retreat, which Max Blumenthal talked about in his article, and Netanyahu's influencer event. Let's take a look at these peeps, folks. Some of them may look familiar to you. These are the paid influencers, right? Israel's eighth front war on information in America. Pro-Israel influencers have a collective reach of 18 million. Emily Austin, Jeremy Abramson, Xavier DeRussos. This is the guy who I showed you before. He was in that video talking about you guys need to learn how to be better at business. He was the one saying there's no starving people in Gaza. They've been doing this. Ben Soffer. And it tells you their influence reach underneath. So like Ben's influencer reach is 1.5 million. Cam Higbee. This is Cam Higbee. See this guy? There's Cam Higbee right there with Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife. If he looks familiar to you, it is because he was one of the guys that went to the HBCU campus in Nashville, Tennessee, and said that they were harassed and they were threatened, and they said a mob came at them the way that they were talking about the Black students. So pay close attention. You have Israel paying influencers to invade HBCUs, antagonize Black students, and then report back and call them a mob, aggressive, monsters. Any Black person that still supports Israel is a fool. We continue on here. Go back. Emily Saves America, Destiny Albritton, CJ Pearson. Yeah, they got Black ones too. They're going to throw in some Black faces so they can say, see, we're not racist. These are the sellouts. The Black people willing to do this, they are the sellouts. They just do anything for money. Lou Holly, Danya Avner, Lizzie Savesky, Savannah Craven Anteo, Deborah Lee Schwartzman, Kristen Wan, Shay Zabo, that opinionated girl popped up for the first time on my TikTok. I had never seen this girl before, and I don't follow her. And she was there right in my feed. That's intentional. Brooke Goldstein, Liv Lane, Jane Zirkle, Fabian Garcia, Hannah Faulkner, Emily Talento. So you see what they did? They got a mixture of them. Look, we have white people and Black people, and we also have Latinos too. We're not racist. White supremacy comes in different shades. Let me make sure we go down here. Now, if we follow down here, Gen Z Girl shared this as well. DOJ FARA filing reveals paid U.S. influencer campaign. And what she did, well, she has a list of them. You guys can't see all these names, but she has the list and how much money they were paid. This here from the Times of Israel confirms it. Inside Israel's Esther Project, DOJ filings reveal paid U.S. influencer campaign. See, I've been telling you guys. And then look at this one. This is Yuri Steinberg Consulting. Tel Aviv University. All of this is connected, guys. All of this is connected. The Israel 365 trip. Look at all these. Look. Here they are. Hold on. I can't play the music, so I'll have to mute it. But let's start this from the beginning. Look, here they are. Look. There's Xavier. There's Cam Higbee. See all these people. And there's Mike Huckabee. See, even Mike Huckabee is in on this. It's all connected. Emily Saves America. There it is. Thank you, Mike Huckabee, for meeting with MAGA influencers brought to Israel by Israel 365 Act. And so here's something you guys need, because I have questions. Don't you think it's a little bit strange that Israel is allowing American influencers to come into Israel, but they're not allowing American journalists to report on this information? Don't you find, in the words of what's his name, Dr. Umar, what would Dr. Umar say? Don't you find that suspicious? Journalists can't come, but the influencers can come. Because the influencers are the new media. You see, all of them are in on it. Mike Huckabee's in on it. Hoping to win back young Republican support, Israel invites MAGA influencers. There it is right there. And this is the funny part. The youth vote actually increased for the Republican Party in 2024. Donald Trump received more support from the youth in 2024. But the Israel thing is a problem. A problem. Now, Jen X Girl also said this. As cited in the Times article, Netanyahu's recent meeting with U.S. faith-based influencers was part of the program. The organizers of Netanyahu meeting is an entity called Gen Zion and its affiliate with the Philos Project. Many of the influencers who attended the meeting are affiliated with one or both Christian organizations. See, what did I tell you? Most of the Zionists in the U.S. are Christian. Influencers who work under the direction of a foreign government or receive payments from them must register under FARA. The intent of FARA is not to have the Israel PR people register and have the Americans work under them without registration. Pam Bondi and DOJ, who is responsible for FARA, must open investigations. Now, here's the problem, because this is something I want to point out as well. I need to grab the thing here from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Give me a second. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing what honestly a lot of these politicians on the left should be doing. They should join her in this effort and put all the foolishness aside, put the ego aside, put careerism aside, and join Marjorie Taylor Greene in this effort, because right now she's the one calling for this to be handled. Let me just go ahead and share this here. Forgot to add that link. Here we are. Now, she was speaking to Matt Gaetz recently. So listen to what she says here.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about the social media influencers. I made 2 posts about this today. I find it highly offensive as an American that social media influencers can get paid basically under the table and no one knows who is paying them and who is sponsoring them. So today I made 2 posts. I made one post calling for any social media influencer, if they are getting paid by a foreign country, that they have to register under FARA. They have to register under FARA through the Department of Justice. The second post I made probably about an hour ago is I posted that, as a matter of fact, all social media influencers, they should have a badge or an icon or a different color check mark that lets the American people know that they take money for their posts, whether it's political, corporate sponsorships, or on behalf of a foreign government. I think these paid social media influencers need to, it's just like on TV you have to talk about who is sponsoring your program. Broadcasters have to say this message is brought to you by XYZ. I think it should be the same for social media influencers. But the biggest part, Matt, is when it comes to them taking money from foreign governments. They should have to disclose that. They should have, it should be made available to the American people. And especially our MAGA influencers that are so-called America First. You know, the biggest message they need to hear is they're not America First if they're taking payments by a foreign government.
Why isn't every left or who considers themselves to be left that isn't taking any money from AIPAC or Kufi, why aren't any of those politicians backing her on this? I think everyone needs to ask that question. Why aren't they backing her on this? I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene here. I think she's right about this. Yeah, I think there should be some type of label, sticker, emoji, or something that lets people know that you are paid by Israel. You are working on behalf of them. She's right on this. And this is something I think that really needs to be done. I think it's something that needs to be pushed. You may not agree with her on everything, but I think like this is something we all need to back. Because I don't want people to be deceived, right? Just like I said, the same thing about David Pakman taking that dark money with Chorus and all that stuff. I say the same thing here regardless. People need to know. And honestly, like I said before, if Israel has $900,000 to pay American influencers, we don't need to be giving them no money. None. No checks, no weapons, no nothing. Nothing. They can fend for themselves. If they have $900,000, they can fend for themselves. They have been paying influencers $7,000 per post. Most of you will never see $7,000 in 1 month. Think about that. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.